By now, I am sure you've heard of the stimulus checks the federal government is sending out because of the economic hardships caused by the coronavirus. But in order to understand what they are and what they aren't, we need some context. My name is Joseph, and this is AJC in Context. The AJC's Kirsten Willis has a full story on this, so if you don't feel like watching me or you just want to read her work, there will be a link to her full story in the description down below. First, let's talk about who gets what dollar amount from the federal government. Americans making less than $75K a year, which is about 57% of the nation, are eligible to receive checks for $1,200. And for couples filing together, that income threshold goes up to $150,000 and the check amount goes up to $2,400. Also, $500 for every dependent under the age of 16. Now that we have that established, let's get into these 5 myths and how they're wrong. Number 1, stimulus checks are taxable. Stimulus checks are organized as refundable tax credits. They are not, and I want to repeat, not taxable income. Because they are refundable tax credits, people who don't typically file returns qualify to receive these checks, according to the independent think tank, the Tax Foundation. Myth number 2. Stimulus checks have to be repaid. If all of your information on your tax return is accurate, you will not have to repay checks, according to CNBC. It is also possible to receive more money upon filing your 2020 taxes, even though these checks are based off of 2018 and 2019 tax returns. Technically, they are a tax credit on your 2020 tax returns. If you end up needing to receive a larger tax credit based on your adjusted gross income for 2020, you will receive the difference in 2021. Myth number 3, the checks will cut into your tax refund for 2020. Now, according to money.com, despite people hearing the phrase advance on future tax refund in regards to the stimulus check, it does not mean you will receive less money next tax season. The stimulus check is in addition to what you already received, not a portion of your 2020 tax returns that you're receiving early. Myth number 4, you can't get your stimulus checks if you don't have direct deposit. Now, while Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin did say, quote, "We don't want to send checks in this environment," end quote, you will get your checks. Now, according to Business Insider, those who don't have direct deposit set up will still receive paper checks in the mail. However, it will take longer for those checks to arrive. So if you want your check sooner rather than later, set up a direct deposit with the IRS. But either way, you will get your check eventually. People who qualify for stimulus payments and who are among the highest earners will have to wait until September for their mailed check to arrive. And our last myth, number 5, benefit recipients are ineligible to receive stimulus checks. Just not true. Now, for the most part, if you have a social security number and meet the requirements, you will get a stimulus check. The IRS will use the bank information already on file, so those with benefits from Social Security retirement, disability, railroad retirement, who otherwise qualify would not need to file a new tax return to receive their checks. So, now that you have all that information and all that context, we want to hear from you. Did you hear any major myth that you've heard be dispelled in this video? Is there something that you're not really sure about, but you would like to know? Let us know in that comment section down below. And hey, while you're down there, go ahead and press that subscribe button so you do not miss this weekly news show. Go ahead and press that like button if you like this video, favorite if you really liked it. But as always, Internet, my name is Joseph. Please stay inside, and this has been AJC in Context.